in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
Well, boyos, it has been a little over a week since the Supergirl 2026 release, starring the likes of Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, Supergirl, Jason Momoa as Lobo, Eve Riley as Rufy, Mary Knoll, and Matthias Schoenaerts as the main villain, Krem of the Yellow Hills. In preparation of this movie review, I spent the week before the movie's release reading up on my comics to get a better view and see whether or not the people behind this film actually did their due diligence putting this project together. I read the comics Lobo Back to Back by Keith Giffen and Alan Grant, and the comic the movie was inspired by, Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Alright, let's get into it.
And I had truly done my best in the chair of torture while they flashed nasty bits of ultra-violence on the screen.
Now, the movie starts off with Supergirl being shown as a helpless drunk like her Irish uncle on St. Paddy's Day, hopping from planet to planet, celebrating her birthday week or birthday. It switches to Krem of the Yellow Hill visiting Rufy's house as he believes he is on a quest to punish the wicked and recruit the loyal. He was soon presented with the realization that he wasn't someone of importance as Rufy's father, a simple farmer who refused to laugh at a cruel joke made by him. This sent him into a fiery rage. He imagined the man in front of him of being of zero value like a worm. Before he could snap out of it, out of his rage, his blade was already in the farmer's stomach. This cruel and pointless murder is the very thing that sets off the movie in motion. Rufy travels to a tavern where Supergirl happens to be in there, where she is getting absolutely hammered, and Rufy makes a proposal to grant anybody and anyone her father's prized hand-crafted sword dagger, as her father is a warrior of swordsman descent. After Supergirl is pestered multiple times by Rufy to accept her quest for vengeance, she ultimately accepts after getting into a fight with Krem of the Yellow Hills, where Krypto is poisoned with only 3 days to live, having her ship hijacked and needing to find a cure for Krypto. Along the way, we are shown a glimpse of Supergirl's power as she gets into a fight with Scalarian riders, pretty much space pirates. The Scalarian riders end up telling them the location of Krem of the Yellow Hills, leading the two protagonists to the planet called Bilquist. During the interrogation, we see Supergirl displaying insane anger, where she may or may not kill the pirates for refusing to cooperate with her. With the help of the two tavern workers, Bomar and Marek, we, the audience, and Supergirl and Rufy learn that Krem of the Yellow Hills is cosplaying as Jeffrey Epstein, trafficking little girls to keep their numbers high by impregnating them. The big Stein was intergalactically moving out here. Like, goddamn. Unfortunately, this has placed both Bomar and Marek in an awful position, as since they have a daughter of their own, they must comply or else. During a conversation with these two, Supergirl was drugged, but for the grace of Supergirl's motivation to save Krypto and the main man Lobo coming to the rescue, the two of them fight off the brigands' onslaught as Lobo was there to kill John Braxton as well. During the chaos, Rufy has the chance to avenge her father by slaying Krem of the Yellow Hills, but stopped by Supergirl in the attempt to stop her from being like him. Once everything is over with, we are shown Supergirl's background arriving on Earth. Once Krypton was blown up, with everyone being evacuated to Argo City, her father Zor-El saved what remained of Krypton when he activated a force field system. For some time, everything was fine, with Kara being born 8 years later. As we know, peaceful times usually come to an end, as several years later, when Kara was around 13-14 years of age, it was discovered that the explosion had managed to release kryptonite all throughout the soil, leading to many Kryptonians to die of radiation. One unfortunate person was Kara's own mother, Allura. During the ceremonial funeral, she ends up finding and befriending Krypto. Zor-El attempts to save his planet one last time, but at the end it would ultimately fail to stop the planet from succumbing to its end when an asteroid shower overwhelmingly forces Zor-El to send Kara to Superman's location on Earth. Upon reflecting how she lost everything in the past and reflecting how Rufi may be feeling, she goes forth seeking someone who would bring her to the exact location where Krem of the Yellow Hills may be at, only to be tricked into being dumped at a planet called Barrington, where the sun emits kryptonite radiation but was thankfully cared for by Rufi, who secretly followed her. This, however, was short-lived as Rufi is captured by the brigands, and we find out that Lobo is there as well. They both escape, but Rufi is taken hostage by Krem of the Yellow Hills. She is saved by Supergirl, as Barrington also shares a yellow sun that enabled Kara to gain her powers back. Now the final showdown starts, and with the help of Lobo, the three of them end up defeating the villains, with Supergirl killing Krem of the Yellow Hills with Lobo smiling with glee. Rufi and Supergirl end up celebrating Supergirl's birthday week, with Krypto receiving the antidote. Kara returns to Earth, with Superman welcoming her back, and she comes to celebrate Earth as her new home, like how Superman promised her from the very beginning.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Now let's see if the film was adapted to its fullest potential, or if it missed the mark completely. In short, it was slightly faithful to the material source, but drastically downplays the most crucial aspect of what made Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow such a massive hit in the comic book industry. If I was to give it a score, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let's break down why this happened and how to improve the overall score. First, the actors. Everyone from Millie Alcock, Jason Momoa to Matthias Schoenaerts and Eve Riley portrayed the characters extremely well, especially Millie Alcock and Jason Momoa. Both displayed and captured the essence of the characters, with Millie Alcock, Supergirl's punk girl attitude, rebelling against her cousin's Boy Scout image as she drowns her pain with alcohol to forget how she escaped from her home planet, watching everyone and everything she loved die in the process. However, Alcock still manages to hold her head held high with hope, continuing to help those in need, providing guidance to Rufi to seek justice, not revenge, all the while battling her own demons. Jason Momoa's portrayal of Lobo is well done as well, since he was a major fan of the character. This helped bring the character to life, especially with how he demonstrated Lobo's well-known attitude when it comes to his dark, twisted sense of humor and quick temper to kill anyone or anything on sight. Not to mention, Jason Momoa simply looks the part that brings the character to life even more, especially when riding his motorcycle, wielding his hook chain when battling Braxton. He is simply the main man, Lobo.
I love you too.
As for Eve Riley and Matthias Schoenaerts, both play the character extremely well, especially Matthias showcasing Krem of the Yellow Hills' cruel and sick, sadistic sense of importance, making the villain more believable. Everyone's costume and outfits are also well done, as if the comic book characters from Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Keith Giffen's Lobo back-to-back were brought to life to put into the big screen. Except for Krem of the Yellow Hills, the outfit was poorly designed and went over the top. He just looked like a random background character that made it hard to know who he was at some time.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Eve Riley's outfit was also well done, overall comic book accurate. Second, even the story of the film was very close to what was written in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and managed to capture the relationship between Supergirl and Rufi had in the comic book, with both of them being friends along the way and trying to understand their motivations. However, that is where the comparisons end, as the film does lack any type of color and brightness compared to the comic book. This major downside made the film look ugly and dirty in certain parts of the film, where the comic was insanely colorful and beautiful. That is what made Tom King's comic a massive hit, along with the writing. Third, bring all the actors back and use the same outfits they had in the film, except for Matthias Schoenaerts. Redo his outfit to look like his comic book counterpart, and more colorful and vibrant, unique world-building settings to bring the world and the movie to life. Switch the format from a movie to a 10-12 part series, to where the audience and the actors will have enough time to explore the character's motivation, along with exploring the beautiful art style given to us by Bilquis Evely and Mateus Lopez. This would have been a better route to work with when diving into and adapting a critically acclaimed comic book such as Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Alright boyos, that's it for this video. See you next time. Adios muchachos.
Sakura wins.